Let us start.
It's okay. Yeah.
That is Sustainable Development Goals and COVID 19. So, that is my topic. And we all know, we all are familiar with Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs. And these SDGs were set in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are actually intended to be achieved by the year to 2030. Started in 2015 and to be achieved by the year 2030, and in this in on the way we have COVID-19 pandemic situation. So first of all, let us discuss what are the SDGs, the self sustainable development goals. The major sustainable development goals are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, then reducing inequality. The 11th one, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the last one, partnerships for the goals. So these are the 17 sustainable development goals set up by UN. And the year by which the target is meant to be achieved is usually between 2020 and 2030. So let us have a look on a bird's eye view on the different SDGs. I think that before entering into the effect of COVID on SDGs, we it is essential to have a look on SDGs. The 17, even though the 17 sustainable development goals are there, they are considered as separate one, but we cannot consider them as watertight compartments. For the first time in 100 years, the world is focused a common goal, beating coronavirus. That is the peculiarity of this time. The Sustainable Development Goals constitute the core of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and all global, regional, and national development for the next 15 years. The United Nations Industrial Development Organizations, it is fully committed to contributing to the achievement of the SDGs. There were serious impacts on coronavirus that we know. So before that, we have different SDGs. The first one is no poverty. So no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, all these are actually interconnected. That is a fact. We all know that. End poverty in all in forms of every year. That is, it is very essential to achieve that goal, end poverty. We have seen that each goal has different targets as well as indicators to measure the progress of achieving the goal. Many targets as well as indicators are there. In the case of end poverty, the major outcome targets are eradication of extreme poverty, reduction of all poverty, implementation of social protection systems, ensuring equal rights to ownership, basic services, technology, and economic resources. That means the building of resilience to environment, economic and social disasters. The two targets related to the means of achieving this SDG are the important targets. They are mobilization of resources to end poverty and the establishment of poverty eradication policy frameworks. And these frameworks are to be set at all levels. And it is found that about 10% of the population live in poverty and struggle to meet basic needs such as health, education, and access to water and sanitation in spite of the ongoing progress as well as development throughout the universe. A study published in September 2020 found that poverty increased by 7% in just a few months due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we have seen that poverty is one of the most important problems facing different parts of the universe. Even in India, poverty is a problem like many other countries. So end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. That is zero hunger is the next sustainable development goal. We have seen that zero hunger is also related to no poverty. Again, good health and well-being. If we want to maintain good health, we need balanced diet. We need sufficient food. We have to curb our hunger. So all these SDGs are interrelated. So to what extent these are possible today? We all are aware of that because we all are teacher educators. Now comes that good health and well-being. So before coming to quality education, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. It is actually aimed by setting good health and well-being by SDG. The major targets are reduction of maternal mortality, ending all preventable deaths under 5 years of age, fighting against communicable diseases, ensure reduction of mortality from non-communicable diseases and promote mental health. Promoting mental health is also one of the most important targets set under good health and well-being. For well-being, we have to lead a peaceful life. We should possess both physical health as well as mental health. Again, prevent and treat substance abuse, reduce road injuries and deaths, grant universal access to sexual and reproductive care, family planning and education, achieve universal health coverage, and reduce illness and deaths from hazardous chemicals and pollution. Why I am presenting all these things are because all these are actually the problems as well as the challenges of our nation as well as the universe itself. And due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen that the death rate has increased. COVID-19, it is a communicable disease, even though it is not very it is not it is not very highly, it is actually very serious because of its spreading tendency, the intensity of spread. Otherwise it is not so serious when compared to other communicable diseases like Nipah or some others, SARS. But anyhow, We have to maintain good health and well-being. And by 2030, we are aiming to sustain that, attain good health and well-being for all the whole nation or the whole universe, whether it is possible. Is it affected by COVID-19 pandemic? That we will discuss later. Now the next one, quality education. Quality education is one of the most important. SDG 4 is one of the most important SDGs while we people are considered. But I think that all the SDGs are related to this quality education. Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities to all. The major targets are free primary and secondary education, equal access to quality pre-primary education, affordable technical, vocational and higher education, increased number of people with relevant skills for financial success, elimination of all discriminations in education. All discrimination, that is very important. Eliminating all discrimination, gender discrimination, caste discrimination, racial discrimination, everything to be eliminated. Then universal literacy and numeracy and eradication for sustainable development and global citizenship. This global sustainable development, peace and maintenance of peace and harmony, global citizenship, all these are actually the vision of our WCP. Then many constraints are there in maintaining quality due to the school and college closure during the COVID-19 pandemic. That is the situation. Even though we are aiming at all these things, that means free primary and secondary education, equal access to quality pre-primary education, affordable technical, vocational and higher education, and universal literacy and numeracy, elimination of all discrimination. You think about the constraints in maintaining quality due to the spread of COVID-19 because the educational institutions are closed, are under lockdown. But now the situations are changing, but still we all are in a dilemma. So the authorities, we all know that the authorities have tried their level best to provide online learning platforms for ensuring the quality to a certain extent. Whether we are able to attain or sustain the quality of the individuals, the future generation during this COVID-19 pandemic period, that also we have to discuss. Then gender equality. That means achieving gender equality and empower all women and girls. That is one of the most important one again. It aims to grant women and girls equal rights, opportunities to live free without discrimination, including workplace discrimination or any other place, and also free from violence, even domestic and other violence. Then this is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. So ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Because the target includes safe and affordable drinking water, end open defecation, and provide access to sanitation and hygiene, improve water quality. We all know that. Even COVID pandemic situation is not a cause. Even before that, many are striving for getting drinking water. So, increase water use efficiency and ensure fresh water supplies and restore water-related ecosystems. So that is Now comes the affordable clean energy. The clean energy should be made clean. Clean energy to promote access to research, technology, and investments in clean energy and expand and upgrade energy services for developing countries are the targets of this SDG. In other words, these targets include access to affordable and reliable energy while increasing the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix. So, under affordable and clean energy SDG, focus is given to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Then comes the industry innovation and infrastructure. Many targets are there. Access to financial services and markets, upgrade all industries and infrastructure for sustainability, enhancing research and upgrade industrial technologies, develop sustainable, resilient, and inclusive infrastructure. All these are included under that. Again, reducing inequality. Under reducing inequality, the goal has 10 targets to be achieved. The major targets are reduce income inequalities, promote universal social, economic, and political inclusion, ensure equal opportunities, and end discrimination, adopt social policies that promotes equality. So make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. So this goal actually focuses on that. Then strong national and regional development planning, implement policies for inclusion, resource efficiency, and disaster risk reduction. Also support least developed countries in sustainable and resilient building. Now comes sustainable consumption and production patterns, sustainable cities and communities. To ensure the plastic products are more sustainable, reducing plastic waste, changes such as decreasing usage and increasing the circularity of the plastic economy are expected to be required, and we are striving for that. All countries are taking variety of steps. They are evolving many strategies for the purpose. An increase in domestic recycling and a reduced reliance on the global plastic waste trade are the other actions that might help to meet the goal. Then now comes the climate action. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact by regulating emissions and promoting developments in renewable energy. We have seen, that means on September 16th, we are celebrating the Ozone Day, International or World Ozone Day, and we have seen that the Montreal Protocol Amendment has helped us to attain that. And it is said that now now there is the ozone depletion has minimized to a greater extent, or there is no depletion at all, and by 2050 the ozone layer, our own protective shield, the ozone layer will become as that during 1980. That is a wonderful aspect. That means this is due to the joint effort, cooperation, and venture of all nations. So here also we are able to attain all these SDGs by 2030 if we will unite together, cooperate in a very befitted manner. Now comes life below water and life on land. So protect, restore and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem as well as aquatic ecosystem. The forest we are misutilizing or we are making much damage to all these ecosystems. That means it is a very pathetic situation. Again, life on land, the same thing. Then peace, justice, and strong institution. It is to promote peaceful and inclusive societies, sustainable development for what? For sustainable development. So provide access to justice for all and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. So all these are striving forces or the need for a better society. And now comes the partnership for the goal. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Actually, Goal 17 is included to assure that countries and organizations cooperate instead of compete. So we need cooperation. We are able to attain the target of Montreal Protocol in the same way if we are able to cooperate instead of competing. We are able to attain SDG in spite of the accidental occurrence of many disasters. That means natural or man-made disasters. We have to be put our heads and hands together. Developing multi-stakeholder partnerships to share knowledge, expertise, share technology, and share financial support is seen as critical to overall success of the SDGs. The goal encompasses improving North-South and South-South cooperation and public-private partnership which involve civil societies which are specifically mentioned. So to achieve sustainable development, three sectors need to come together: the economic sector, the socio-political sector, and environmental sectors. All these three sectors, the economic, socio-political, and environmental sectors, are all critically very important. Progress will require multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary research across all these three sectors. This proves difficult when major government fail to support it. According to the UN, the target is to reach the community farthest behind. Commitments should be transformed into effective actions requiring a correct perception of target population. Data or information must address all vulnerable people, migrants, and intellectually displaced persons. The year by which the target is meant to be achieved is usually between 2020 and 2030. 5 years are over. And why are the SDGs important? Because they encourage social mobilization, create peer pressure among political leaders, spur networks of expertise, knowledge, and practice into action. Because all the SDGs are well defined, and also well defined targets and indicators are there to monitor the progress of all the SDGs. That is the aspect. And we have to mobilize stakeholder networks across countries, sectors, and regions, and coming together for a common purpose. The common purpose is to attain SDGs. We are able to attain because we all are one. We have to maintain universal cohesion. Then it is significant and easy to attain these goals. Now comes the impact of COVID-19. I think that You all know that. We all are aware that we are striving towards or stepping towards attaining many of the goals. But again, even though all these SDGs are there, these SDGs are actually, we are aware of many of the SDGs, especially the SDGs related to education. While all the SDGs are integrated, the SDG 1 related to poverty, it is the link that can move the needle for many of them. We have seen the poverty is related to the hunger. It is related to the financial crisis. It is related to violence. It is related to good health, maintaining good health, mental health. It is related to the social development as well as related to inequality. Inequality is, again, there comes the education. The poverty, if we are if we are hungry, then how? That means it is our primary need to satisfy this, our hunger. So if without satisfying that primary need, what about ensuring quality of education? What about ensuring so many other goals? Industrial sustainability. So this goal is one of the prime importance. So again, the economic opportunity can positively impact most of the SDGs. Poverty is again related to this economic opportunity. Economic crisis hit women harder. That is again, we have seen gender equity. Women empowerment is also given to equality, and equity has given much significance in SDG. We have seen that due to economic crisis, women tend to earn less. Women have fewer savings. Women are disproportionately more in the informal economy. All these are proven findings. Women have less access to social protections. Women are more likely to be burdened with unpaid care and domestic work, and therefore have to drop out of the labor force. Again, women make up the majority of single parent households. So, COVID, all these, we all know all these things. The women in the household, women who are working in Anganwadis, women working in many private institutions, the sales girls, many other household home maids, they are actually earning, and they are actually looking after their family, their kids, and due to their own, and we are also aware of self-help groups, women self-help groups, a very important empowerment program organized by the government, a very successful one, which has elevated the status of even the socially and economically low strata women. All these have gone, all these have disturbed due to the COVID pandemic, because no maids were given jobs, Anganwadis were closed, then the food supply, even the poor. In schools, midday meals were there, schools were closed. Now you think about the education. The quality education we are actually aiming at. We are giving online learning, online learning or virtual learning is being provided during this COVID pandemic period. Now you think about the maintenance of quality education. Anyhow, something is better than nothing. So providing online education, it is good. But you think about developing and underdeveloping countries. lack of gadgets, lack of so many things are there. So that this online education, we won't be able to make it a grand success, even though much efforts are being made as well as executed by the authority as well as the stakeholders. So how we can maintain quality education? Now digital divide is there, then how we are able to maintain quality education? You think about the downtrodden, the tribals, the migrants, all we have to think about while we are thinking about the education during COVID pandemic. Due to school closure, no midday meals, no meals at all. What is the significance of free and compulsory education at this time? Many have dropped out. So all these are serious issues during COVID-19, COVID pandemic situation. So COVID-19 pandemic 2020 has offered countries an opportunity to build recovery plans that will change the consumptions and production pattern towards a more sustainable future. Before that, I think that we have to think about different aspects due to the impact of COVID-19. That means we have seen that more countries report infection and lockdown, more domestic violence. Helplines and shelters across the world are reporting rising calls for help. So domestic violence has increased because of closure of workplace as well as the education institutions. In many countries like Argentina, Canada, France, Spain, UK, the government authorities, women's rights activists, and civil society partners have flagged increasing reports of domestic violence during the crisis. It is the same in the case of India and also in Kerala. Heightened the demand for emergency shelter. Helplines have registered. Confinement is fostering the tension and strain created by security, health, and money worries. And again, increasing isolation for women with violence. So all these we have to think about as the effect of COVID-19 pandemic. This 19 pandemic has offered or presents both an enormous challenges and tremendous opportunities that we know. Our socio-economic assessments, as already mentioned, based on the findings from more than 70 countries and 5 regional reports, show that while most developing countries are in the early stages of the pandemic, they are already dealing with its negative effects. The economic crisis caused by the COVID-19 pandemic is expected to contribute to global unemployment of more than 200 million people next year, with women and youth workers worst hit. So, with the increase of domestic responsibilities due to school closures, unemployed women face the threat of falling back into their traditional homemaking roles. We all are experiencing that. There are good things also. We are able to associate with our families. We are able to create or establish much bonding with our family. But there are the unemployed women face the threat of falling back into their traditional homemaking roles. And this may reverse several decades of feminism also. This is actually a prediction based on the studies made by the authorities, UN and many other countries. On the other hand, women are not the only group predominantly affected by the pandemic, making up a high proportion of the workforce. Youth workers also faced massive layoffs as well as cut wages due to the pandemic. In a study again by the UN Labour Agency, it was reported that more than 1 in 6 young people has stopped working due to the reason cutting of wages and so many other mental stress. We have seen that more countries report infection and lockdown. UNESCO estimates about 1.25 billion students are affected by lockdowns. UNDP estimates 86% of primary school children in developing countries are not being educated. You think about the kids below 10 years. We know that by schooling they are developing many values, many skills. What happens to those values and skills? All these are because of COVID-19 situation. The pandemic has highlighted the need of digital divide and the right to internet access, particularly for those in rural areas. And scientists, they have warned for years that unrestricted deforestation, the illegal wildlife trade, and diseases that cross from animals to humans would unleash an uncontrollable pandemic. Even though those predictions were made by the scientists, we all people, we have ignored everything because of our selfishness. I think so, or we all think so. That's why investing in green economies is crucial to restore the balance between people and planet and help countries recover. Like a double helix, the SDGs and the COVID 19 pandemic response are intervened and cannot be tackled by a piecemeal approach. UNDP is breaking with the past. The pandemic has given us permission to do what was once almost unimaginable, redesign the way we work. Now we have redesigned our way. That is because this is also a redesign. We are in the virtual platform. We have redesigned our webinars, seminars as webinars, everything as virtual. We are exploring the technology. The first time in 100 years, the world is focused a common goal, beating coronavirus. COVID-19 is already testing us in ways most of us have never previously experienced, providing emotional and economic shocks that we are struggling to rise above. The violence that is emerging now as a dark feature of this pandemic is a mirror and a challenge to our values, our resilience, and shared humanity. We must not only survive the coronavirus, but emerge renewed with women as a powerful force at the center of recovery. That is a must. In times of crisis, violence against women and girls is likely to increase. The same is the situation during pandemic also. The studies conducted by UN reported that under a high damage scenario with little recovery, the number of people in poverty in 2050 is estimated to be 800 million, approximately 220 million more than the expected COVID baseline. And I have already mentioned that school closures and distance learning worsen student performance. It is a fact that the COVID 19 pandemic has drastically impeded students' learning progress in schools and further increased disparities in society. For a particular group, schools are actually the providers of value, skills, and so many other things. But they are missing a lot. But some are there who are able to acquire all these things during this pandemic. So that gap is widened, that inequality, the uneven access to technology devices again and Wi-Fi had made constraints to student learning leaving many underprivileged students across the globe behind their academic studies, which may in turn delay their education and negatively affect the future. While the benefits of COVID 19 on education may seem scarce, there is still hope. Indeed, the pandemic has created a space for educators to rethink educational models for school, including shifting educational focuses away from formal assessments and increasing integration of curriculum that holds a focus on resilience, leadership, and critical thinking skills. Getting back to normal is simply not feasible because normal got us here. The crisis has shown us how deeply connected we are to others and to the planet. COVID 19 is forcing us to revisit our values and design a new area of development that truly balances economic, social, and environmental progress as envisioned by 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. Integrated solutions are the only way in which we will be able to build a greener and more inclusive future to help countries meet 2030 goals. So we have seen that
Nice lecture.
the
As
COVID-19
yeah.
is economics is crucial to balance and planet and help countries recover. So COVID 19. Again, once more, COVID 19 is forcing us to revisit our values and design a new era of development that truly balances economic, social, and environmental progress as envisioned by the 2030 agendas and SDGs. So let us hope for the best so that integrated solutions are the only way in which we will be able to build a greener and more inclusive future to help countries meet the 2030 goals. So let us hope the best. Thank you.
Good,
Thank
good,
you.
very good, very good.